How you guys doing? We're gonna have a little bit of fun right now. Just checking in with you guys, seeing if you'll join me for a few minutes. I just launched the Project 50 podcast for the first time. Of course, uploaded a decent... Look at my hair's all freaky today. That's fun. And hopefully you guys will hop in. Look at that. Maniac Reactions. How are you? Happy New Year. Welcome aboard. And let me get just up and started here, and then I'll be able to check in with you guys as we go along. Yeah, hey, yo. Look at you guys jumping straight in here. Happy New Year, you guys. Everybody have a decent New Year's Eve-ning? Yeah, something like that. Mostly a night in for me. Girlfriend had to work, so stayed home with the kid and just kind of had a hang. It was a good time. Waving right back at you, Michelle. It is going very well. I just posted the Project 50 podcast, episode 1 is officially up, and I'm using Anchor FM. I don't know how long I'll use there, but if anybody knows a better way to host, I'm all ears, but it'll do for now, certainly. Look at that. You watching the last chat, and then pop, here I am. Well, I'm glad you remember me, Ray, from Lab Rats. I remember me from that, too. Did I shoot off fireworks? No, but there were people who were shooting off fireworks in my neighborhood, so the cats were freaking out. Happy New Year on the Anno Domini scale. Yes, thank you for within that window. Very important. Yeah, if your Chinese New Year is until the first week of February, so we'll save the Xin Nian Kuai Le and the Gong Xi Fa Cai and the Gong Hei Fa Choi for that particular week. But hopefully you guys had that. Hey, Tom, how are you? Amos, good to see you. What's up, Fred Boom? Hey, Seattle, Susan Q. Wanted to just jump on why don't do Lab Rats. Is that a sentence, Fred? Why don't do Lab Rats? Huh? Project 30, I'm starting a fast tomorrow. Well, right on, man. Did I watch the ball drop yet? Yes. That part doesn't interest me that much. I mean, I'm sure it kind of comes and goes. You know, like some years I'm really into sitting there and watching it, and other years I could kind of take a pass on the whole thing. Why don't you? Why don't I what? Why aren't I on Lab Rats anymore? Because they're not making any more of them. Nobody's doing them anymore. I'm pretty sure here was shooting. I'm pretty sure someone here was shooting off an automatic weapon of some sort. That was real comforting. Oh, that's horrible. Eo, what kind of fast are you doing? Are you doing a water fast? Are you doing a whatever? The staff behind the lab has had to retire or something due to bad contract or so? No. The kids just aged out of it, essentially. That's how Disney works with their shows. They can only, it's only a kid's show as long as they're kids. Everybody was going to be 21. Good job. Waterfast is a good way to go. Spent my New Year's playing pool. All right. Hopefully you won something. I wish you were actually a billionaire from Lab Rats. Well, who says I'm not? I'm just not that particular one. How you doing? So yeah, I just wanted to hop on here and I'm gonna tweet out to everybody, let them know. Let's see. Happy New Year's. Let's see. Streaming live now. Beak. Sending that out right now. Get out that YouTube thing. Deep-a-doo. All right. Cool. Thanks, Michelle. Happy New Year. Thank you. Hal, have you ever thought of your own cartoon on Adult Swim? Yeah, I pitched one a few, years ago. It's been a long time. And it was awkward because I had a buddy who worked there, and I just felt weird pitching kind of through him. I mean, other people, I don't know how people in the past, I've not really been able to figure this out. But some people can just hard sell themselves and step on necks to do what they need to do. And I always feel like I'm overstepping my bounds when I try to, if I turn any networking or close relationship into a work-related thing. So it's, that was tough. It's, but it was called The Sticks. So there you go. Here's a question. Who are the cast in Lab Rats? Huh? Have you not watched the show? I mean, we do list their names at the beginning of the show every single time. Is there somebody you don't... I'm confused. Did 45 really act like... did 45 already act like... Yes, he's been spent the last 48 hours doing that. I haven't watched Queer as Folk because I wasn't old enough. Watched it on Netflix and finished it 2 days ago. Loved it so much. You and Robert are my favorite couple on the show. Thanks, CJ. I highly recommend watching the original version, either via DVD or I think Showtime On Demand has it, simply because the original music works a lot better. On Netflix, they replaced a bunch of stuff, so not quite as... Hal needs more subs. Exactly. So like and subscribe. Do all that stuff. Spent my New Year's Eve volunteering in my community. Thanks for the message you sent me on Cameo. It means the world. Oh, thanks, Victoria. Absolutely. You're that Victoria, so hello. Cameo.com/HalSparks. I do personalized videos on there. It's super fun. Always good to do it. Netflix soundtrack is so sad. It is. It's just not good. DVDs only for the original music. Carrie, I think the original music on Showtime On Demand though. No, it's a quiz. Who are the why would I need to do a quiz? I was on the show. You mean Billy Unger and Kelly Berglund and I mean which part? Angel Parker, Spencer Bowman, T.J. Williams, me. Like, why would it be a quiz? I worked there for years. Are you doing any other show or movies? I'm doing a series in China right now. I've been back 3 times over the last year. I go back again in February for a month. Travel show. Happy New Year. Thank you. TLK Knitting. Good to see you. What was the best album you heard this year? That's a tough one. Yeah, I keep thinking which one. I have to look at when certain albums came out because I rediscovered an album this year that I hadn't been able to find forever. That I used to listen to in high school. So, I mean, it's kind of a cop-out on the question, but Vinnie Moore Mind's Eye is an instrumental guitar album that I listened to when I was a sophomore in high school, and I loved it. And I couldn't find for the longest time, they just didn't have it on iTunes or something. Like a lot of that stuff, like you could go find something like there's a movie called Vibes starring Jeff Goldblum and Cyndi Lauper and Peter Falk, and it's so funny. And it's written by Lowell Gans and Bob Lou Mandel, who are incredibly funny people. They wrote City Slickers, for example, and they're just super funny guys. Basically, if you watched an 80s comedy and it was super funny, they might have done Punch Up on it. You can kind of count that. But anyways, I love that movie and couldn't find it forever. And I eventually had to buy the DVD off of Amazon because it's just not on iTunes or anything. I don't understand it. Well, the same thing, or Amazon or any of these sources. And then the same thing was true of this album, Vinnie Moore Mind's Eye. Like I just could not find it. And I had a cassette of it years ago and blah, blah, blah. And it got lost in a pile of stuff and blah, blah, blah. Thank you, Emma. Happy New Year. So that's what it was. I didn't know that Hal will do Hal, but now that I'm done with the show, I don't know what to do with my life, so I wish for donating to Squares Folk Read. Understood. One of my favorite Lab Rats episodes is when you acted like a 4-year-old. That episode made me laugh hard. Carrie, I have to be completely honest, it made me laugh really hard too, because we did so many versions of that and I was improvising through it that until I saw the episode, I didn't even know what parts they used. And quite frankly, I didn't even remember. It's like you do 50 jokes in a couple of hours or 100 jokes, and they end up cutting it down to like 12 or 13 of them, and then you see the way they put it together, and it, like my mom and I were watching it, and I was just crying with laughter at my own stuff. It was kind of pathetic, but it was super funny. It was just a real fun episode because I got to cut loose. I had one line, and they cut it out because they thought it sounded dirty. And it was because I was making a mustache on my face like that, and I said, "Smells like knuckle." And it was just because my knuckle's right under my nose. It was just like the most abstract, stupid thing I could come up with in the moment. But I was just like, "Smells like knuckle." And they wouldn't, like, they didn't use the joke. Not because they didn't think it was funny. Everybody really liked it. They just didn't. They thought it was dirty. And I was like, it's just my finger under my nose. I'm smelling my knuckle. It's literally right there. Oh. Also, I've been watching Fuller House today, and I saw the high school reunion episode where you played Nelson. It was a nice surprise. I didn't know you were there. Yeah, I did one episode of that. That was almost more trouble than it was worth. Those people were really nice to work with. I wouldn't pass that up or whatever. Like, they were all pretty decent, but the experience of doing it was a bit rough. Is it me or is it modern day rock just sucks and is it all ego screaming? No, not all of it. You just don't listen to it. Hal is the cleanest comedian out of some of the others I see. Well, yeah, no. If you come see my show live, I certainly use what would be considered a lot of adult language. It's just that my concepts aren't dirty. It's just I swear a lot because I'm being emphatic. The finger may have been in a poopy. No, it wasn't that at all. Fireworks going off again in our neighborhood. Oh, you hope. I could see if it smells like butt, but knuckle. I know. It was the weirdest thing. Like, I just thought that was so funny. Like, because everybody's talking to me at once in the scene. And I went, smells like knuckle. And I just threw it in there. And I just loved it. Hashtag smells like knuckle. There you go. I don't know why they got freaked out by it, but they certainly did. Got very upset with me. Look at all of us watching you over the holidays. I know. Well, it's nice to have, you got some free time. We can gather together. That's not a bad thing. Just, a few of us getting together here in the chat room, just have a little bit of a chat. And thank you, Michelle, for the super chat. That's really sweet. For the new year, my kitty insisted. That's very nice. I'm sure there were a lot of laughs in between takes on Lab Rats. I really miss it. Yes, there were. There was a lot of, thanks, Maniac Reactions. Sometimes it was hard because we would just keep laughing. I will say that as much as we laughed, the final episode of the original series before, because when Spencer and TJ left before we went to Elite Force for a short time, that was really sad. I mean, we've been together for 5 years at that point, everybody, and just doing the last scene together, it was hard to get through it just because of the crying. It was really tough. Well, thank you, Emma. That's my goal. Rib pain. Gut busting. Sonic. Greta Van Fleet Zeppelin ripoff. Yeah. Or rock rebirth. It's a good question. Any future project we should be... Yeah, Explore China has a new name, Go China. That's the travel series I'm doing. We're supposed to do 100 episodes of that, so we're finishing the first 20 next month, and they'll be out it'll be a couple of months after that. And then I'm working on a new series. It's part of Project 50. I'll tell you guys about it as it happens. I'm not... there's some things I'm telegraphing on purpose, and some things I have to keep secret because of contractual stuff. But as they jump these, as I hit these markers, then I'll let certain parts of it out. So you can listen to the Project 50 podcast, or at least check in on the hashtag on Twitter and stuff when I put stuff up. No, I meant on different genres. Lab Rats, your stand-up, and HSRP. Yeah, everything's very different, obviously. My favorite episode was when you and Adam had the monster truck. That was really fun. You're an hilarious actor. Thank you, Carrie. Thanks, Shannon. Right back at you. Project 50, huh? Area 50, Project 51, Area 51. No, they're not related. I'm just 50. I turned 49 this year, and which means I am technically in my 50th year. I met a woman who's in her part of Masons. Oh, you mean she's in the Order of the Eastern Star? Is that what you mean? So lurking for now. Nice to see you and everyone. That's fine, TLK Knitting. You guys can lurk. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe on the video. Thanks very much. I'm only hopping on for about a half hour today. Got very limited time because I've got a lot to accomplish. You know, January 1st is a launch date for a lot of people. And so I don't tend to do all my kind of, okay, today's the day to start my goals thing. I do those on my birthday, but I always have one that I do on actual New Year's. And so I've got work to do today on that, which I recommend to everybody. I'm in my 51st. All right on, Michelle. Would you reprise your role in Dude, Where's My Car? Absolutely, without question. Do you have a cat or a dog or just cats? Just cats. I would love to have a dog, but they take way too much maintenance and I'm on the road too much. Last year of Trump, yes, more than likely. Oh, thank you, Victoria. That's sweet. I appreciate that. I will try to make more of me over the course of the next year. I've been really bad at self-promotion over the last 5 years, and mainly it's just because I've been so busy working. And it's not lost on me how much it's an important part of modern day, social media based, creatives getting their message out and the like. So I'm really trying to step that up this year. If there's a single kind of resolution I have for the regular January 1st, it's that. So hence the cameo.com stuff, hence me doing shorter form videos and streams like this and answering your guys' questions and all that stuff. So I really appreciate that, Michelle and Victoria. Thank you so much. Do I play video games? Yes, I do. Mostly these days, Call of Duty and Fortnite a little bit. I have a PS4 that I VR on, and we just got the Creed game. We have not played it yet. I got it for my girlfriend for Christmas because she's a big Rocky fan, and so I wanted to try that, and so we got that for her. But I'm Hal 5 Park 5 on Xbox, so in case you want to find me on there. January 2nd, kids go back to school tomorrow. Oh, wow. Yeah, my son doesn't go back till the 7th, which is next Monday, and I'm pretty sure my girlfriend's kid's the same. Zoltan 2020. Things could be worse. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, Catherine. Tell your twin I said hello. Any comedy shows coming to Indiana again? Not sure yet. Most of my next stand-up dates aren't until March because I'm supposed to be shooting in China all of February, and that's moving stuff around. So, oh my God, I play Fortnite, Save the World. What is your Xbox, Hal? I have an S. Is he a senior yet? No. He's a junior. Yeah. So yeah, let's see. Scrolling through the chat room or whatever. Anyways, I would like a question for you guys. I'm obviously trying to grow my YouTube channel this year. Any recommendations for videos and stuff that you'd like to see? Love to hear about it. Both you can tell me about it here in the chat room, or if you're watching this later in the comment section. If you have kind of question long form videos, anything that strikes your fancy, I'd love to hear about it. Glad to do that. We're in the same room. Oh, well, tell her I said hi. There you go. I should do a Q&A. Yep. Okay. Have you thought of doing a live stream video game playthrough on YouTube or Twitch? Have you done that before? I'm quite new to your channel. I have not done that, CJ. And I technically have the setup of ability to do it. I just have never done it. It seems, kind of, I mean, I'd love to do it. I mean, I'm not the greatest player. I do it for leisure. So, I don't want to, all I need is, an hour of gameplay and a trillion comments, noob, but I'd be glad to do it. Would love more comedy. I have a new special. We already filmed it, and it's in the can, and I'm waiting for it to be color corrected and given to me so I can upload it. It will be on the channel here. I'm going to post it on my own channel as well as segments from it. I would love to see you play Fortnite or any other multiplayer game. All right, deal. Maybe get on and play LOL or something. Me and my twin sister go horseback riding twice a week. That's awesome, Carrie. It's funny because I used to ride a horse in Kentucky quite often and hadn't ridden in a long time. And then in China, I just did this segment and I finally got to ride a horse for the first time just through this old Chinese movie set where they used to do old kung fu movies and stuff. Just really awesome. And this horse was so funny because it was a Chinese horse, and I was speaking to it in English, and I realized this horse never gets spoken to in English. So I started having to like listen to the commands that the owner was giving it in Chinese, and so he was going "zhou zhou zhou," which means go, or "deng deng deng," wait. So he would say "deng" for wait and "zhou" for walk, and that was his little thing. Idea, Hal, get the regulars together for a video podcast chat. That's a good idea, yo. I like that idea. We ride big horses. We could do that with like a one of those, like a Google Chat style one. That's a good idea. Your QA family want more Q&As. Okay, good deal. You know, it's funny because I'm glad to do those. A lot of times it takes some prep. So it's more like if people have a specific question they want me to shoot a video about, then I'll, that's a short form that I can upload. Because what I really need to do more on the channel is do, more 3 and 5 and 7 minute videos in theory. Oh, Fred, I'm sorry to hear that. That's terrible. Really sorry to hear that. My cats understand Klingon. I know I've checked. I would love to see you interview fellow comedy acts. That's interesting. Okay. Curious that. Started the year with a 2-mile charity walk. That's great. Really cool if you could offer a stand-up comedy class. You're such a gifted and talented comedian. It'd be cool to offer tips or a stand-up comedy class for aspiring comedy. I've thought about that, Victoria, a couple of times. And, completely frank. So when I guess ironically, there were, they do that thing masterclass.com, and I have to look real quick, but I'm pretty sure, let's see if it's still up. I've signed up for, let's see, a bunch of, let's see, is it in here? There you go. I signed up and bought a bunch of ones in there. Oh, yep, it's still up. So there's a I signed up for their big thing. So I got the Werner Herzog, the Steve Martin class, Usher and Christina Aguilera's vocal things, because they're as a singer, I'm like, they got a really high standard. So whatever I can learn from that, it's really cool. There's a bunch of things to kind of learn from it. Steve's is more about comedy in general, rather than stand-up. But they still have Kevin Spacey's comedy class, or his acting class up. And I remember watching it, and I got to be completely honest, it is the worst acting advice I have ever seen in my life. It is literally full of the most obvious, limited, and obviously before his crash, he had a bunch of fans who thought he was a great actor and cool, whatever, think what you want. But there was always one of those things. There's some actors that always strike me as like they've lucked into the right roles, or you've never seen the bad stuff that they did beforehand where they don't fit, or you just assume that it's you. That happens a lot too. Audiences do that a lot. They see an actor and it's like their performance sucks, but they think, maybe I just don't like him as this character. Like, no, maybe he's just terrible at that. Maybe just some of them work, right? And literally the notes he gave to the actors in this thing and the kind of theory that he puts forward is the most rudimentary, crappy high school derivative acting nonsense. It's just awful. And it boils down to you get better advice from Bill Murray's character in The Man Who Knew Too Little, where he's going, how are you crying? You guys are amazing. Did you just poke yourself in the eye, or are you thinking, my dog is dead? My dog is dead. It's just so friggin' terrible. I'm going to listen only mode. I'm about to drive. I think that's wise. Hal takes critic grant subject, link, one subject equals linkable. Good idea, Michael Anderson. I like it. I'd call them Sparks Notes, but somebody already took that name. I wanted to send a super chat, but I just found out that's not available in Puerto Rico. That sucks. Oh, well, that's okay. I do have a Patreon, patreon.com/Hal Sparks if you want to do something there. I don't do a lot of private video stuff on there for patrons, but that's something I will add to this year. They seem to be brooming all the right-wingers off there, so hopefully that means that there's a little more room for the lefties and progressives to kind of grow in that environment. You know, hopefully we'll see. There you go. Can we call it Trump's Twitter tirades tantrums? That's great. I like that. Your live stream is so awesome. Thanks, Catherine. Every Saturday I do the radio show, Hal Sparks Radio Program, Mega Worldwide. It's live on WCPT, Chicago's Progressive Talk. It's a 2-hour call-in, regular, old-fashioned radio show. I just happen to stream it live on YouTube, so if you want to watch that too, that's Saturdays 9 Pacific time. Hi, mobile gods. Hello. Good to know about the Patreon. I saw it, but at the time I hadn't updated in a while. It looked like, yeah, I very much kind of started that. I wasn't even sure how to get that kind of up and running, quite frankly. So should we submit by commenting on the old ones like one before or something different? Carrie, one of the things you can do is email me at, via my website at halsparks.com. Just go there and there's a comment and kind of email me section. And you can just kind of put your, put like just YouTube in the body of the text so I can do a search for it and I'll be able to pick it up from there. Or you can put stuff in the comments of the other videos or these new ones. Do you got merch? I do got merch. Actually, if I reach 10,000, my Teespring will start popping up on here. So hence the goal to try to get this up on here. But if you let's see, if I go to my linkage, let's see, storefront. So there it is. It's called the Hal Sparks Bazaar, and I'll do this. Yeah. So if you go to, let's see, I don't know if it'll let me back in here or not. It's so weird. I have so much stuff up in here. There you go. It might, yeah, there you go. So that's my merch store right there. I just put up a new shirt and it didn't load for some reason. So I got to try to get that back up there. Hey, Carl, good to see you. How are you? Happy New Year. My ferret came back to life with all right, Fred. Simmer. My channel is Mobile Gods. Cool. Sorry, I dig it. That's very Legend of Zelda. What's happening, Addie? How are you? I'm only going to be on for another like 5 minutes or so. Pet Cemetery has a new remake. Fred Boom coincidence, but only. So let's see if I can bring this out here. In terms of those videos, these are all great ideas. Happy New Year to you as well, Carl. I will continue to post stuff there or whatever. But I think the short takes idea is a brilliant one. So I'm going to try and I'll do one of those today. What do you guys think I should do on New Year's Day for a short form 3 to 5 minute video? What would you like to hear about? And I'll try and post those up today. On Lab Rats, do you read a script? Yes, absolutely. Although they let me pitch jokes on the show. So every episode that I would do, about 15... don't know why I didn't get a real-time alert about this. I'm not sure. Sometimes the goal setting's a great idea, Victoria. Who dies in Avengers 4, Iron Man or Captain America? I'm going to go with neither. They're just going to retire out. They're not going to kill him off. I think basically almost everybody comes back. But are they in the same universe? Because, you know, Marvel does the multiple universes. That, you know, right now I think we're in 616, right? Let's see. But goal setting's a good one, because that's actually something, you know, I do on my birthday. And I did a short video about that a while back, but the quality was crap because I couldn't upload at the time, and it was annoying because I wasn't home on my birthday. Do I like scary movies? Indeed, I do. There's been a couple I've really enjoyed over the years. Some of my favorites as far as scary movies, Haute Tension, the French thriller, it's like psycho thriller, and let's see, Martyrs, that's a rough one. Antichrist, the Lars von Trier movie, is really upsetting and horrifying. Audition is probably the most nerve-wracking horror film I've ever seen. You know, I like, you know, I love The Shining. So yeah, I was watching The Death of Stalin, and I saw that you were streaming. Coincidence? I think not. Hey, Hal, will you be coming back to Chicago anytime soon? Maybe to broadcast your CPT show from Chicago? Yes, I am, Kim. I am. We're trying to figure out when. I don't want to brutalize everybody with the weather, but yeah. I always find your rants hilarious, Hal. Not sure if you'd upload short videos, stuff like that, and you save it up for your stand-up. No, I don't mind kind of starting from there. So again, I don't want to spend. That's probably been the thing that's held me back from a lot of these, is because if I start to rant about stuff that I would use as material, it feels like a waste. So The Shining is great, except for the repeated red rum screaming by the kid. You know, initially it's scary. It might not be as scary by today's standards. Hoping to make it to Chicago next time. That'd be awesome, Gary. Or is it Kari? I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it correctly. Rants are always good. Not always, but sometimes they're worthwhile. I'll show you. Let's see. Have you seen Krampus? I have not, but I did record a song about Krampus years ago. Would love your update on your future 3D printed house. That's going to be a full documentary. That's a whole year-long thing. Was walking by the Irvine Improv last month and told my wife we were hoping to see you there this month. Oh, nice. What's the worst horror movie you've ever seen, Hal? The worst. Oh, that's tough, because there's a lot of crappy ones. Yours are, thank you. I'd have to think about that one for a minute. Short takes: geeky science, politics today, film review, industry breakdown. Have you heard this? Everyone should. Cool. Me and my sister Catherine don't like scary movies at all. They keep us up at night. Well, that's kind of the point, right? Again, scary movies they serve a purpose. They help tune up your nervous system so that when scary stuff happens, you jump less. Horror stories and stuff traditionally in history are there so that when real scary stuff happens, you've been slightly desensitized to it so that you don't panic and you can keep your wits. The whole goal of watching horror movies is that eventually you've seen enough of them where that in a situation where something horrible might go down, you might actually go into solution mode faster. That's why we traditionally tell scary stories around fire, campfires and stuff like that. That's what they serve culturally. Horror stories actually are valuable. My favorite movie is Blade Runner, the original one. Worst scary movie I've seen in 2018 was WWE's Raw every Monday for the last year. I love The Thing. Yeah. Saw Vice last night. Interesting stuff. Christian Bale was amazing. Yeah. Yeah, Mobile Gods, Blade Runner, I said that already, but okay. Me and my sister, let's see, would you ever get a tattoo? Probably not, because I've done enough nudity in my career that I don't want to have to cover stuff up. I find that irritating. Do you keep in touch with Lab Rats Cast or no? Some of them, yeah. If you go through the group chat idea, let me know. I will. Also, the scary idea that pops into mind about the creature from Carpenter's The Thing is that a girl you've been crushing on suddenly agrees to go on a date with you and you die horribly. I fired up my snowblower and Jason scares nobody around. Since what's your favorite game or franchise of all time? Probably Call of Duty, for the most part. I jumped over to Battlefield when Call of Duty started letting you play as a Nazi like it was no big deal. I was like, to hell with that. And then Battlefield got weird, so I went back to Call of Duty now that it's kind of cleaned up its act. Logan was good. I agree. I didn't like the fact that he was basically, he's indestructible, but he's got septicemia. I have a real chip on my shoulder about I don't want to be a hero anymore stories. I'm so tired of those. Like, is everybody just ready to hang up the cowl? Like, it's so odd. Like the whole like settle down, have a normal life storyline is just so. Are you Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas fan? I am. That's a great movie. It's also a great book, but I enjoyed the movie a lot. Carrie, him ranting about covering Randy's tattoo is hilarious. Oh, yeah. The guy did makeup on Queer as Folk. Oh, yeah, Kevin. Yeah, it's so irritating. Like, and to do so much of that stuff. And, Gail had one, and, it's just work, man. Your body's your canvas. So, I mean, I don't mind people having tattoos and until they're old. I mean, go back and watch Charmageddon. You'll see my bit about tattoos. I don't have a problem with them in general. Just as an artist, they would limit what I can do with my body, and I'm not willing to do that. That's how they subverted Luke in The Last Jedi. He was so... I know. I hate that stuff. It's funny. Like, I almost blame it on how out of shape the American public has gotten, that now that's a reasonable storyline. Like, I'm exhausted. I'm so tired. This is too much work. That is translated into superheroes and people who are extraordinary. I don't buy it. They should be aspirational. I just really feel that. Your fake back tattoo looked really cool, though. Yeah, the temp ones, that's totally cool. What time did you have to be on set of Lab Rats? It changed all the time, but usually fairly early. And when I directed, I would be there 2 hours early, and then an hour later after everybody went home. Also, Green Manatee Muscle Milk was just so delicious. I have 15 tattoos so far. That's cool. You're going to the beach tomorrow, Honeymoon Island? That's cool. Best graphic novel you've ever read? Mine is Mouse. I mean, I like the original Frank Miller Dark Knight series. I'm reading Moon Knight right now. There's some good stuff in those. The best one, though. The Crow. It's rough, but I loved it. I don't have a problem with tattoos, but those with them that judge me for not having them, I do have a problem. Yeah, I don't know. The henna tattoos that you see occasionally on some people are interesting when they pop up. It's true. Are you having an event in New York anytime soon? Not yet. Like, probably in the spring, just like I said, because I have to go to China, and, at the end of the month for a month. So, yeah. What's your biggest fear? I don't know that I have one. You should play your music on your YouTube channel. You're an amazing musician. Your band is amazing. Well, thank you, Victoria. That's a good idea. I might do some guitar lessons. That's a good time. I think skin is beautiful as is, speaking from someone who is a sun worshiper and now has basal skin cancer removed. I'd love to see you in New York. Yes. Well, I'd love to be back there. Got a QF-inspired tattoo last year because of everything the show has done for me. That's awesome, Zelda. Comic you would love to see on the big screen. That hasn't been done. I mean, I'd like to see a Ruffalo Hulk movie by himself. That'd be nice. Werewolf by Night. How about that one? Quick videos, more Freemason stuff would be cool. Okay, yeah, I can do that. Favorite episode of Lab Rats when you guys face Crane. That was really fun. Graham Shields, who plays Crane, is a really awesome guy. He's terrific. Really talented, really smart. You guys are amazing. Hilarious. Keep laughing. Have you seen Aquaman? I thought it was pretty cool. I have not seen it. I have next to no interest. I'm really a Marvel fan. And the minute Aquaman said, "my man," to somebody, I was like, this is like the old Super Friends cartoon all of a sudden, and not in a good way. How about a video on how to think critically? I think that would be useful. Yeah, that's a good idea. Jason Momoa was going to play a new version of The Crow. Marvel has to split rights on Solo. Hulk releases with Universal, so Mark Ruffalo quite unlikely. Yeah. That's why they basically put him in a Thor movie to cover that way. And technically, the Spider-Man movie had a bunch of Tony Stark in it, so technically it was that kind of thing. In the same way that they probably, they covered their base in Civil War and Winter Soldier. What was your favorite lab rats you ever shot? Impossible to say. I mean, so many of them were so fun. There's no one that really stands out as like, oh, that was, they're all some crucial ones. The big battle stuff that we did, the big 2-episode arcs were fun. The space colony one, I was in a rig for that show. For one of these days, I have to do a video about that because I was in a rig for 6 hours in that thing. Quick video: Sparks on Sagan's art of baloney detection. Did you hear the Punisher season 2 hits January 18th? And did you watch season 1? I did watch season 1. Again, that was one of my problems with the I'm ready to hang it up. Like they literally opened the show with him dropping his painted armor on a pile of trash, and then he doesn't wear it basically the rest of the time. I'm like, come on. Put him in the uniform. Have we learned nothing from the success of the Avengers movie that the big bright costumes, the big over-the-top comic book stuff works? People want to see it. This idea that the clothes have to look kind of realistic in this, old-fashioned kind of black X-Men suit era nonsense is so aggravating. Me and my sister Kelly got a metal detector for Christmas. Found 2 watches in our back. That's so wild. One of these days, I hope to meet you. One of my favorite actors. Oh, well, I hope to meet you too, Mobile Gods. There you go. But yeah, I will watch the next season of The Punisher, but I like this whole idea that I don't know, I'm too tired. I got to put it all behind me. Like, shut up. That's not the storyline I came, Yeah, anyways. That's just, I understand. That might be my own hang up, but it seems like every single one of them has that as the storyline. Like, at least one guy who'd gone being a superhero is awesome. You know what I mean? Do I still keep in touch with the QF cast? Some of them, yeah. The ones I see, I suppose. We're all spread out, and some of people tour. What batshit insane concert you ever seen in a mosh pit? Oh, I got tear gassed at a corn show on Santa Monica Boulevard in a small club. Their debut show in LA with their new singer Jonathan, the guy who's with them now. Friend of mine was managing them at the time when they were almost signed to A&M Records back when A&M existed. And I'm standing there, there's a mosh pit going around. This one dude's kind of bumping into people, and I was, you start wiling up. I'm like, okay, am I gonna have to sock this dude? And then at one point I'm standing there and I start going, what the hell? I can't breathe. Why? What is wrong with me? I must have gotten a whiff of somebody's cigarette. You have this moment. And then I look down the line of people who are edged to the mosh pit, and everybody is having the same introverted, individualistic LA, it must be me moment. They're all going, did I get a... And then I look over and there's smoke coming from the ground, and then everybody stampedes out because we're all being tear gassed. And what had happened was some girl, her dad was in the military or was a prepper or some nutcase, and instead of giving her mace, gave her a tear gas canister to take with her for safety. And she didn't understand that once you turn those things on, they stay on. And this dude was moshing in front of her, and she was going to mace the guy with her tear gas canister, and she clicks the thing down, and it just won't shut off, and she throws it on the floor, and she's just like, oh my God, what have I done? And gasses everyone. People were outside vomiting. It was hilarious. Needless to say, the show stopped. I also you know, some people might have seen my Zach Wild bit that I've done in stand-up about Zach's last show before he went to rehab, where he threw his guitar at the sound guy and broke 2 of his ribs. If you have any bionic, someone out in the lab right now, what do you have? Oh, the telekinesis. Because if you can lift stuff with your mind, you can also fly. Last Saturday, you mentioned you poked in, with a sharp stick. What happened? Oh, that was Camden. He was playing with his stick, and I, as a dad, went over and, give me that. And instead of creating a space, because I was worried he was going to hurt himself, I just instinctively reached to grab it from him, and he went like that and just stuck the stick straight in my eye, just scratched my eye right across there. And it was like I had to go to the hospital. I had to get drops. It healed in like 3 days. It's amazing how fast your eyeball heals when there's a scratch on it in that situation. But it was pretty scary for a little bit. Yeah. The Stanley cameo in Venom was pretty good. I agree. I like Venom more than Infinity War. Nah, I wouldn't go that far. But I mean, you can like it. What you like is your business. I wouldn't say I felt the same way. 1 meal a day and cut down on carbs and processed food to lose weight. Yep, that's what I've been doing. Speaking of Punisher, if you could be in a Marvel show, which one would it be? I've talked about this. My current weightlifting regimen is called Project Moon Knight. Sounds like your voice has improved significantly since. Yeah, it's definitely healing up. Although I still got a little bit of gunk. I'm definitely healing from the I'm not hacking up a lung. Did my cough healing vibes help? Clearly they did, Zelda. So yeah, so I posted a picture here in a second. Hold on. Gotta separate this out in a second. That I've been like, it's so bright, I can't really show, but like as far as definition goes, like all this has been finally coming into shape. And I've like over the last year, like I finally got a peak on both my arms. Like this has all been part of the thing. Like my triceps got a constant ridge on both sides now. And my chest finally started coming in. Like I never had pecs before. And I finally got them to start kicking in, and it just took some work. If I won the lottery, what would I buy? If I won the lottery, what would I buy? A film studio. I'd set up an entire studio. Thanks, Rocky Mountain Mike. Let's see. Do you have any tips to lose weight? Yeah. Try intermittent fasting, and then eventually squeeze your window of eating from 8 hours to 6 hours. That'll work. Cut carbs and cut 60% of the sugar you take in is another way to do it. A lot of people will tell you, like, cut sugar, and you're like, there's sugar in everything. Like, that's how people get out of stuff, is that they make something insurmountable psychologically, so they don't even try. It gives them an excuse. There's sugar in bread. How are you supposed to blah, blah? And that's fine. Yes, that's true. So cut the stuff you know. Don't drink sodas. Don't drink, don't eat only 1 out of 3 desserts you are presented with. So anytime dessert is presented to you, 2 out of 3 of them, skip them. Have cake the other time. That would be the thing. But, I mean, the main thing is sugar. If you have any kind of dairy issue, cutting dairy will also get a lot of the water weight out of your system. But carbs would be the main thing. Just lower your carbohydrate intake. There's, I've been reading recently that there is simply no, like, you need a minimum amount of protein a day. You need a minimum amount of minerals and other vitamins a day. You don't, and even fat. There's no necessary amount of carbohydrates, really. Your body produces glucose. You don't need carbs. You just don't. And you can start squeezing the hell out of them out of your diet. You'll just start shrinking. It just happens. Like, my problem is that I start losing weight too fast. Would juicing be a good idea? Depends on the juice. Does Nickelback deserve the rest of the hate from the rock world? No, they do not. I have no problem with Nickelback. Nickelback is doing Nickelback, and they should be allowed to do that. Like this idea that some people like, Nickelback is their music's stupid, or they just write these. What Elvis Costello song are they supposed to release to make you happy? People make the music they want to hear, and if that's what they like and you don't like it, don't listen to it. You're not being forced to. Like, it just piss off these people. I'm cutting sugar, especially alcohol, from my life. It's a good start. I would also have an orchard of some fruit too. That's a good idea. It's a great video to watch as I'm preparing hamburgers. All right, there you go. Well, hamburgers aren't necessarily all that bad or whatever. The buns is the biggest problem in that situation most of the time. So there you go. Did you keep anything from QF show? Quite a few things, actually. You want to see something cool? Here's something. You want to see something I've never showed anybody that we have as a gift? Hold on. Let me see if I can. So, Queers Folk, we got cast gifts every year. You know, we got a couple of, like, bags, like, you know, like handbags or whatever, and they give you this thing, you know, or a jacket or something like that. Some of it's fairly neat, but if you walk around wearing it and you're a member of the cast, you just look like an asshole, quite frankly. So, because you're like, oh, hey, remember the show I was on? I once ran into Greg Allman years ago at O'Hare Airport, and he was wearing a jean jacket that said the Allman Brothers Band on the back of it, and right here it said Greg. And I was like, dude, we know. But anyways, I was like, I just... and I'm a snob about that kind of stuff. I should ease up. Like, there are dudes who, like, I won't wear my own band t-shirt, and I just frankly should. As a matter of fact, I just cut one up to wear during workout videos so that I could promote them more. I got to get past this mental hang-up I have about selling myself. But so one year they gave us flasks. Needless to say, I don't drink, so I didn't use mine ever. But look what it says on it. And by the way, you can see what kind of camera I use. It says swallow. These guys. And it comes with a little funnel so you can pour stuff into it, and a little shot glassy thing, I think. I don't know. I don't use it. I was like, I always wondered if I could put like some sort of like health elixir or something that I came up with in this or whatever. What else do I have that's back here that's that I could show off real quick? When I was in China on the last trip, I sculpted this guy, well, this lady. I literally sculpted that. Pretty proud of myself. Not bad. Took a little sculpture class, and that's like that traditional style thing, so I've made that, so there you go. That was fun. But yeah, so that's the closest thing. I'm sure Michael did. Michael did drink. He also did drugs, but not to a huge amount of stuff. That looks like something Brian would give you. Yeah, it was, believe me, that was the Brian representatives in the writing and production crew clearly all thought that was funny. Yeah, use it for water. Yeah, like Matthew McConaughey in Reign of Fire. Remember when he's like, he takes his flask out and he's always drinking out. He hands it to it and he takes it. He goes, "It's water." He goes, "Yeah, keep it." And then swallow. Yeah. Play-Doh. It's not Play-Doh, it's clay. Simmer down. Take care. I'll be safe. You need to call it a night. Understood, Michelle. Yeah, I've got to sign off too. I stayed on way longer than I thought. I was going to be on it for a half an hour, and it's been an hour. And I guess that's it's easy when we make it into a sort of a podcast thing. So, anyways, don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. I got to sign off. You guys are wonderful. Thanks for jumping in here with me. I really appreciate it. Like and subscribe to the channel. Spread the love around if you want. You can super chat me here, or you can go to the patreon.com/HalSparks and sign up for stuff. In the new year, I'm going to be doing more like subscriber-only videos in there. And then, of course, I just tweeted out on my Twitter the first episode of Project 50, which is the podcast that goes with my system that I'm using this year for accomplishing the goal stuff that I've set. So if you have any interest in that, that's going to be on there, and I'll be doing that weekly at least, but it probably more often because it's kind of a journal of the process. So sometimes I'll just be tuning in and going like, hey, I'm cooking some food and here's what I'm doing. Other times it'll be a much more, kind of blown out experiential descriptive of, some element, a career goal I'm working on, that kind of stuff. Excuse me. So there you go. But anyways, guys, take care of yourselves. Have a happy, happy, happy New Year, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.